Begin transmission.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
Well, here we go. Starting another show. Give me that 5x5, everybody, if my sound and audio is all right and y'all can see me and hear me okay. Let's see what we got going on today. Yeah, I want to make a big shout out right now to my Patreons. These guys have been great. We got Grindhead Jim, Pope, Will Mcfarlane, Jim Largo, our very own Rolo at Masters Maniac Mexico, and my newest Bjorn Jorgensen. And I'm so glad that you guys have supported me. If you want to support this channel and you like this content, go to patreon.com/weirdfantastictoys, and in any little bit that you give would be just a wonderful help, and I would appreciate that. Let's see what else I got on the agenda today real quick. On the 9th, I did a live stream, and Gilster37 sent me a $5 tip, and I appreciate that. And I don't know if I acknowledged that on the stream at that time, but I want to do so right now today. And thank you so much, Gilster37. And Jim Largo also gave me a $10 tip that day, and that was for my camera fund, because I want to buy a new iPhone to use as a toy cam down here. And also, if you want to tip me on StreamYards, if you look at the top, there's a pinned comment up there with the link to give a tip for me. And I have set that now so that you have to log in to give a tip on StreamYard, and that will help me get the money quicker, because I won't have a delay on my funds if you log in. And I also want to thank all of my wrenches today for being here. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you for giving me that 5x5, everybody. I appreciate that. Lets me know that I don't have to monkey with my sounds, and everything's doing all right. Looks like the chat's going really lively today. I want to send a shout out real quick to Lack Sivrak, who has reached over 100 subscribers to his channel. Congrats, General Lack. We appreciate that, sir. And if you want to go over there and comment on the video that he uploaded, you can get a chance to win a giveaway that he's doing over there. So everybody go over and subscribe to Lack Sivrak and give him a little giveaway, and get in on that giveaway. Yeah, you're welcome there, Lack. I'm more than happy to help you out there. You've helped me out in the past, and it's just a great thing. All right. Well, I've got a couple of folks in here with me today, and I'm going to go ahead and bring them on. First, I'm going to bring in Will Mcfarlane at Wilhelm Toy and Hobby. Come on in here, Will, and say hello to everybody.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I had a wonderful week. How about you?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, pretty busy. I went out to eat last night, and I got sick after. So,
man,
that kind of sucked. But
kind of got a hold
feeling better now.
Got a hold of some bad food, maybe.
I don't know. No one else got sick, and we kind of had a bunch of shared stuff throughout the whole table there. We went out for wings, so
All right. Well,
beats me, man. I don't know what it was, but it really got me. And usually I'm pretty good
man,
at that stuff.
I hate that. Let's catch up on the chat here real quick,
Yeah.
and let's see who all's here and what they've been saying since all this started. And it's going to take me a minute to get through this. Bjorn, of course, arrived first, and I want to go ahead and give a good old shambolics out to him. He always does that to us, so we'll do it right back to him. And Bjorn's been suffering from some insomnia, and he just woke up. So don't act up in the channel thinking that he's going to be sleeping, because he's not. He's up and at 'em. So let's see. We got Michael Purvis is in the house with Masters Maniac Plastic Toy Shop. There, we appreciate you there, Manic Plastic. I keep getting you. I keep getting Maniac on my mind because Rolo stays on my mind. Rolo sent me a box full of goodies. Look at my new hat. And let's see who else has showed up today. Of course, there you are, Will. You came right on in before the show started. Jim Largo's in the house. What's up, Largo? And my friend General Lack Sivrak is in the house. I gave him a big shout out at the beginning. Good deal there, Lack. Glad to see you on the show. Let's see who else is here. Nolan's arrived here. Hi, Bill and chat. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Got my notification Friday. My auction stuff is in Saskatoon, and it'll be here tomorrow or Tuesday. Man, it takes forever for that stuff to get from Mexico to the United States and up to Canada, doesn't it, man? All right, who else we got here in the chat? We got Gojitron in the house. Gojitron, my friend, good to see you. I popped over on your channel and started watching some videos, and I saw the video that you did on Resurrection Toys, and that was a wonderful video. Appreciated watching that. And let's see who else has showed up here. I might have caught up on everybody. Let's see. A World Made of Cardboard here in the house. Hey, man. Can't stay long. Got to get on the road. Well,
hey, World Made of Cardboard. I got to see Jim yesterday at
yes, you did.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear about that because Jim's over there shaking his booty over there at Retro Palooza. I imagine that they're getting ready to break it down about right now. I don't know how long it goes on a Sunday, and I don't know how far Jim's got to drive to get himself back home. Jim don't get out
just a few minutes. Yeah, he said it's real close.
That's pretty cool.
Has anyone heard from him? Because I was hoping to see something. I saw a little video.
I know he watched. I think he watched that unboxing after it was over with the other day. Friday was that Friday that I did that? Yeah.
That hat and shirt are looking pretty sharp there, Bill.
I appreciate that. Say. And the ticket, what's going on? The ticket, that's my friend, the ticket, who has the Red Velvet Rope Band. He does some wonderful stuff over there. Hoping to get some videos up soon. If you can find his YouTube channel, subscribe to it. And I know he doesn't have much up right now, if anything at all, but he has guaranteed me he's going to get some music videos up there real soon, and hope to show some of those here. Oh, we got Motu Joneser in the house. Good to see you there, Motu Joneser. And Motu Joneser, if you check your DMs, man, I sent you a DM with a link so you can get on here on StreamYard with us if you want to as well. And let's see who else we got here. We got Everything's Plastic Toy Review. Hey, man, good to see you.
Hi, welcome.
And let's see if I've missed anybody. Moving on down the list. Well, I think I got everything all caught up now. We got everybody said hello to and got the chat back in. Now, Bjorn Jorgensen's been waiting very patiently down there to hop on here for a minute. We'll see what he's got to say. Bjorn, are you there, man? I got you on. Looks like you got the Burger King there as your avatar.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Man? I'm good.
All right. Well, I've got some toys over here. We can talk about those. We can talk about what's going on over there at Wilhelm Toy and Hobby. What's going on over there at Wilhelm Toy and Hobby, my friend?
I was just about to ask about a Smash project.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, MASH. I have the it's scripted, it's ready to go. Just have to work on that propeller there because it's a two-parter. So I'm working on one presenting it. So I got to get the propeller done a little nicer so it shows nice on
Are
in the
you
picture
3D
there.
printing that? You're 3D printing that propeller, correct?
Yeah,
Have,
and
have
then
you have you found the piece that you're going to use to connect it to the copter, or are you going to 3D print that as
I'm
well?
gonna make that. So then the second part of that is because of the viewers. I asked, and several people reached out to me and they said they'd be interested in watching not a tutorial, but just a intro to 3D printing for toy collectors. And I have a script made for that as well. So that's going to be a live stream. And what I want to do is just kind of go through some of the basics of 3D printing for toys, and then kind of design and print up the propeller or the rotor live on the stream. So that'll be coming in a couple of weeks. So I'm working on that. So that's delayed the Mash project. But yeah, I got a
Okay.
couple of things in the making right now. So there'll probably be 2 or 3 videos next week, as well as the live stream. But other than that, it's really like I said, with getting sick yesterday, it kind of killed my Saturday. So
Oh,
I lost some
okay.
progress there. But yeah, not too much other than that. Just chilling here with my channel mascot. I got
Okay. Okay.
Patrol right here
Patrol.
hanging out, hanging out with me.
I understand that you're going to be making an actual little shirt for him to wear, right?
Yeah. That'll be fun. I'm gonna get him. And if
Uh,
you've noticed, if anyone does watch, he's appeared in every video since I've gotten him somewhere. So just
yeah.
look close, and you'll see him in just about every video coming up.
Nolan says he's looking forward to that, Will. And Gojatron says hello to Cardboard. Just what Jim Largo says, any favorite Halloween themed toys this year? I'm not big on holidays there, Jim, but I I think that back there in the back on the toy cam, you're going to see my new Resurrection toys are probably going to be my big Halloween theme this year. So we're going to check those out once again. Bobby Hicks, good to see you in the house there, sir. Uh, let's see what's going on here. Bjorn, let's see what you just tell us what's going on there in Bjorn land.
Well, nothing much really. I'm going through that stuff that I got from Epic Badger. I'm gonna paint it up eventually.
Okay, cool.
Work some more on the Fallout diorama. Still waiting on that one guy for that
Okay.
one piece that I need.
Yeah, I saw that you posted on Instagram the rope. You found the correct rope to use for.
Yeah, I saw those too.
That
He's
guy
making
looks
all
like
these different rope ties and stuff.
Reese Bannon looking guy, right?
Yeah, that's who I usually model all this new stuff that I make because he's just right there.
Oh, cool. And I want to apologize to Bjorn because Bjorn's always buying me figures and meaning to send them to me. And I'm finding the dang things in Walmart and buying them before he can send them to me because I can't stop myself. So I want to give you my apologies for that, Bjorn. And
No worries.
if anybody needs an extra Flash figure or Superman or whatever that Bjorn has got there, let him know because I know he's got a Flash figure that he meant to send me, and I've got
I think Will's got something to show you.
all right. What you got there, Will? Let's them big in there, Will.
Gojitron said that Bjorn's Lego Tiger is on the cover of the holiday flyer
It is.
for Target, and then I went to go get it, and I realized it was right next to me. I haven't looked through it yet, but yeah, there he is. And
Oh
of course,
wow.
the business end isn't showing. So
Oh, they should have flipped it
Largo
around.
wants to know, Bjorn, if you found that Fallout cookbook yet.
No, I have not.
Okay. All right. Well, let us know when you find that because Largo, I think, is just on the edge of his seat about that, obviously. Anyway,
Me and him were talking about it the other day because he showed me a reel on Instagram.
okay. All right. Well, let's let's embiggen me real quick, and let's go to the toy cam here, and let's see what we got on display. All right, so if anybody's wondering what we've got here on display, and you saw the thumbnail, I was talking about some custom Masters of the Universe figures that I'm working on, and as you can see over here, I've got a Savage He-Man that I'm working on. I need to find a new waist for him down there. But right now he's got his standard waist on underneath his makeshift loincloth that I'm working on there. And I've got a spear here for him that actually came with the Ultimate Warrior Masters of the WWE figure, but I didn't buy that figure. I bought the spear separately from Chop Shop Toys over there on eBay. If you want to buy separate pieces like that, that's the place to go. Looks like we got some more folks hopped in the house. We got Brick Something. Good to see you, man. Glad to see you hopped in the chat there, man. If you're lurking and you haven't said anything in the chat, say something in the chat and I'll say something back to you. But otherwise, I won't know you're there. So anyway, I need to get a hold of that spear and give it a good paint job so that it looks a little better than just all yellow. But we're working on that Savage He-Man there. Right now, I've got makeshift feet there on him. That's Stratos' ankles and feet from Mini Comic Stratos. But I want to paint those up and make them match the rest of him and maybe get the fur off of his legs there. I don't know. It may not matter. But,
Bill, do you ever customize on stream? Is that something you like to do, or is it too distracting to work effectively?
It's a bit distracting for me right now to do that. And the other thing is, and you tell me, Will, what you think about that. You bring this up, and it's a curiosity to me. So you talking about doing these things live or whatever. I've always thought that it would be better to maybe not do it live, but cut a video and then cut that and maybe speed it up through the boring part.
I think there's certain types of people like that. Maybe people are really comfortable kind of just working, or it becomes second nature to them. So it's a lot easier for them to just kind of do it.
You have to do it on. You see my hands here. You'd have to do it on camera, which means that the camera is like right here, all up in your way, and it's kind of hard to do that. And then you've got you can't see what you're doing because you're trying to watch what you're actually doing, so you can't see what everybody else is seeing.
Sure.
So if something's on camera, off camera, it kind of.
I feel like if it's something I've done a bunch, like if I've done it a bunch of times, I'd feel comfortable maybe just showing someone because you've been through the process a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But if you're being creative and kind of winging it and creating as you go, it could be very distracting.
And the other thing is, I find like painting. I would think that watching somebody paint something would be the most boring thing in the damn world. I mean, it's kind of like, setting up a lawn chair and watching the painters paint your house. I mean, good God. But
people are interested in the techniques that you use, or
that's true, and
how to turn that yellow spear into something that looks realistic. That would be interesting. I would tune in for that.
Well, that's an idea, and when I get ready to paint that spear, I might just do that. I might even go live with it. You never know, because it's a process though, and the thing about it is, I might have to do time lapse and also cut a video, because when you're laying down layers of paint, you've got to let it dry before you hit the next layer, and if you're
you're right.
And if you're going to if you're going to do some dry brushing and stuff like that, I mean, things have to dry, I got a private chat over here. Let's see. Somebody posted something over here. Bjorn, that's okay, man. There's nothing wrong with him as long as he's minding. Don't bother him. He's not bothering anybody. It's fine. If he's got anything to say, let me see.
He said,
Let's see. Hey, Junk Man. Appreciate you liking that He-Man that I'm working on, man. I'll try to get him looking a little bit better here in the future, man. It's good to see you, and you just hang out there with us, man. I hang out over there at your place all the time too. And anyway, back to what we were talking about there. Will the other thing is when you do a wash, have you ever done washes on when you're painting there, Will?
yeah, absolutely. And you have to put it on there like really watery, and then
Yeah, and then
wipe
you
it
got
off
to.
before it
Well,
dries.
here's the thing that most people do that messes them completely up when they're doing a wash. Uh, we work in acrylic. I work in acrylics, okay,
Okay.
and that means it's water based paint. So if you put down your base layer that you're going to do the wash over, that layer has to be not only completely dry but set. Because if you try to
Yeah.
do a wash over that before it's set, the wash is going to start washing off that base layer, and you don't want that to happen. And that's
Well,
what
if you wanted to do a time lapse and just show like the steps of it, even without even doing live painting or even
yeah.
pre-recorded painting, just show the progression of it. I'd watch that for sure. I would just be interested. Like I said, you're taking a yellow, definitely plastic-looking spear, and then you're going to make it look like something realistic. And I'd like to see how that happens.
And something just occurred to me. We got a lot of folks in here, and some of those folks I don't know if they're subscribed to me or not. But I need 1,000 subscribers, folks, and I'm nowhere near it right now. I'm about what 530, maybe a little less than that, maybe 525, something like that. And if you're not subscribed to me, and look down below the video, and if you see that subscribe button is red, go ahead and hit the darn thing and give me the subscribers. And I beg for this, because you know what happens when I get 1,000, I get monetized, and I get so much more extra stuff that I can do on this channel when I do that. So, I try to subscribe to everybody that subscribes to me. If you have a channel, and if you don't have a channel, I always look. Now I know everything's going to start
I'd
getting.
be surprised if there's someone here or in the chat that's not subscribed to you, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know, but you also don't know who's watching later either.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well, if you're watching from home and you're watching later, you subscribe to Bill. His weird, fantastic toy adventures are great. There
thank
you
you
go.
so much, there, Will. I appreciate that. Well, on to the next figure that I have here now. Of course, we've seen this figure a dozen times on the show before, but he's got something new in his hand there, and that's the Emerald Staff of Avion that
Okay.
I purchased here recently from Talos Dream Shop over on Etsy. Now, when that staff arrives, it doesn't have any gold on it. I painted the gold parts on there so that
Is
it
that
kind of
3D printed or is that a resin
it
cast?
is a 3D printed. It's 3D printed. Talos does all 3D printing now.
Okay.
The guy that does my heads, Lee Customs, now he does resin pours for those heads. But the staff there has been 3D printed. I'm thinking about painting the green parts on that with some green paint as well, maybe to smooth out some of those. The when it 3D prints, it has all those lines in
Yeah.
it.
I remember you talking about it a bit with Radical
Yeah, and I
Toys
want,
on Tuesday.
and that brings up something. If Adam's watching, I want to apologize to Adam, because I didn't mean to make it sound like I was schooling anybody on that. And going back and
But
rewatching,
you were.
no,
You're the professor when it comes to these things.
I am
No, I
not.
know, I know,
I
I
am
know.
not. I'm not. And then the reason I'm apologizing is because I went back and rewatched the Filmation series. And in that series, there is an egg of Avion, and the egg of Avion on the Filmation cartoons takes the place of the Emerald Staff of Avion, because in the Filmation cartoons, there is a staff of Avion, and there's an egg of Avion. Okay. And in the comics, the mini comics that came with the figures, those two items from the Filmation cartoon were combined into one item called the Emerald Staff of Avion.
And that's what you have there.
And that's what I have there because my adventures are all comic-based adventures. However, you know, I do have a Filmation Stratos back here with the staff of Avion that was featured on the Filmation cartoon as well. So, but I like I said, I apologize that I didn't mean to sound like I was schooling you on that. It was something that I didn't remember that there was an egg of Avion as well as the staff of Avion on the Filmation
With
cartoon.
how many streams of canon there are for the Masters of the Universe.
That's correct. And as everybody knows, my head canon always goes back to mini comics. And if at all possible, it goes back to the first 4 mini comics and that storyline that was featured there. And I know I have not yet even begun filming the second part of my in-depth series on that. I have ideas in my head of what I want to feature in that, and it's going to cover the King of Castle Grayskull, where Skeletor actually gets control of Castle Grayskull, and it's basically that mini comic is not only features all the characters, it also is kind of a commercial for Castle Grayskull playset because it's featured very heavily in that mini comic. But we'll get to that one day, I promise. And next, back here in the background, I've got a couple of figures that a lot of my longtime watchers have seen before, but I'm just going to bring Conan out here to the front. This is my reproduction of the Remco Conan figure as an Origins figure, and I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do there with his belt, but it's brown, and I want it to stay brown. But I'm thinking about putting a little clear coat there on that belt to kind of make it shine just a little bit. I haven't done that yet. And if you notice, he's got a necklace on, and where does that necklace come from? You might say, and how do I get one for my figure if you have one?
Papa Shango.
Papa Shango, that is correct. The Papa Shango figure that came out with WWE Superstars figures has got that necklace on, and I stole it off of him and put it on Conan because I think it just works so well there with that figure.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
You give him a little extra, and I don't know if anybody has noticed or not, but down there on his boot there is a knife. That also came from Talos Dream Shop. Now the Remco figure actually had a boot knife like this with a little holder very similar to this, holding a knife in it. And Talos is making these, of course, for Origins figures. But when I saw that, I said, "Now that's actually Conan's boot knife and boot knife holder. At least it looks like it anyway to these old eyes." And so I went ahead and got that and stuck it on Conan's leg, just like the actual original figure would have had. So Conan's
cool.
Conan's just coming right along here. I just kind of I love the look there of his face, and I got this repro sword just like the one that came with him. Of course, I painted it up so that it looks kind of cool there. So I got Conan going on here, and finally I've got my Beast Man back here.
That's the mini comic one, right?
That is mini comic. Well, original mini comic there, Beast Man. He showed up twice in those mini comics. He showed up in the very first one, He-Man and the Power Sword. But the next time we saw him was I think it's the Vengeance of Skeletor. Maybe I think that's the name of it. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me in the chat, folks. But
he looks pissed.
Yeah, when he showed up again, he was in the orange livery that he sported as the figure. But when he first showed up, he was all red, just like this right here, including this It was yellow in the comic, but I painted it gold for my figure because it just pops out better. But that's my original mini comic red Beast Man going on here, and of course he's got a head, a repro head here that was done by League Custom that matches the original vintage figure, and of course he's got some beastly feet that see his little toes there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got beastly feet. Those were also done by League Customs. I think he gets those and casts those from Sabretooth Legends figure, Marvel
Yeah.
Legends figure.
I will say that this line, they don't look really any different than the originals, but that added articulation does really improve them.
That's true, and one of the things though that I've been doing with my figures is not all of them, but some of the figures I've been replacing their heads with the repro original heads that Lee Customs
Okay.
does. Because, for instance, Beastman always had this open mouth look to him, and the Origins figurehead has got a closed mouth that it kind of looks like he's grimacing or gritting his teeth. And I didn't like that as much as I like the original look on that. So I did replace Beastman's head, and I replaced He-Man's head and Man-at-Arms' head for reasons. Man-at-Arms never had a mustache in the original mini comic series. Now, a lot of people are fans of that mustache, call it an epic mustache, but and it is. And those fans of the Filmation cartoon, who I'm not knocking in the least bit, they want that mustache, but I wanted a Man-at-Arms figure that looked more like my Man-at-Arms. So I got that repro head, and same with He-Man. And the newer figure heads seem to be thinner to me, more gaunt looking. I think is more the word I'm looking for than the original figure heads. And those original casts of those heads just bring back all kinds of memorabilia and feelings in me that the newer heads do not, which is one of the reasons why I've done that. But your mileage may vary.
Gotcha.
Well, anyway, those are my custom figures.
Yeah, I really like them, all three of them, and I'd love to see that. You're going to eventually do the whole line of the original mini comic figures, or
I'm
most of them?
I'm going to do my best to, yes. And one of the repro videos that I'm going to do, reproducing the mini comic with figures playing out the roles is He-Man and the Power Sword.
Oh, very
And
cool.
I've
And if I
been
could steal
kind of
from,
holding out on that because there's a lot of things that I don't have that I need to have in order to produce that. And one of those are the reproductions of the figures. And another one is the fact that in that first mini comic, Man-at-Arms rode around in his battle chariot, and I don't have one. And I've thought of many ways of producing one for myself, but I may just have to wait until a company that I shall not name might just produce one. But you never know what might happen in the future. So
yeah.
the things you have to do, to get what you want done.
Well, even if you can't get the whole video done, Jim Largo does some really excellent displays with his figures. And usually he'll take a piece of artwork associated with that figure line and kind of display it in the background and then have the figures in the front. And I was going to say, if you took that mini comic art, which is beautiful, and maybe blew it up a little bit,
yeah,
and had a backdrop from the mini comic art and display the figures in front of it, it would look really cool.
Let's see. Michael Purvis says, "Same here, Bill. My Man-at-Arms, I swapped the head, and he has no mustache. That's pretty cool." Let's see. Brick something says, "The Origins book and articulations are amazing. I do Masterverse, but Origin is a fantastic line that really plus the vintage figures with the modern posability and ease of popping off parts." Yes, and not knocking classics or the new Masterverse, which pretty much is trying to replace those, in my opinion. Those are great figures at the size that they are. I believe it's 6-inch or 7-inch figures, and they're great, and they have much better articulation than the Origins figures do. But the thing about the Origins figures is they are at the same scale as the original vintage figures. I mean, you can replace all the vintage figures in your collection with Origins figures, and they fit right in. And only those of us who are anal retentive would be able to tell the difference.
I like that. I like that they, that they match the Origin stuff, because some people are using them to fill their collection, find those harder to find figures. And
I think Michael French over at Retro Blasting and a few other collectors, I think Geek Dad Life did this as well. They're taking the vintage figures that they have in their collection and putting them away in storage or in a better place to and taking them off of display and replacing them with the Origins figures as the Origins figures come out in their display, because of the better articulation and the fact that you don't have he-bands inside of them that wear out and break and stuff like
gotcha.
that. Yeah. And Nolan says the mustacheless man-at-arms is just the younger Duncan to him. Fair enough. Duncan's mustache is the source of his muscle power, says Jim Largo. Seawood Brick something here says, I actually think the articulation of the Origin is better than Masterverse. Move much better, but I like the 1/10 scale on sculpts on the Masterverse. Yeah, and one of the nice things about some of those Masterverse figures is some of the accessories work with Origins. I know Todd over at Hebro has taken Viking He-Man's helmet off and has found a way to use it with his He-Man Origins figures. So, that's something that you can do as well. And also Brick something says, it was super smart of them to make Origins work perfectly with the vintage. I think that was as well. And of course, whoever decided to do that, my hat's off to you. And by the way, folks, speaking of Origins figures, did you hear that the Eternia playset has reached its second tier, and Modi the Moat Monster is now going to be released?
Ah, well, that's good. Congratulations to anyone that ordered it. I saw Scuba Pete did a great build.
I saw that. He and did you see the epic display that he did where he matched his Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain up with the set the way
just seeing that massive playset on display. I know that the price is ridiculous and all of that, but just seeing it all out there like that really does.
That vintage
kind
set,
of explain why someone might want to buy that new playset.
Yeah, that vintage Eternia playset, even incomplete, goes for $1,000.
Well, if you can afford it and display it, well, then you know what?
Yeah, more power.
Cheers, man. Good for you.
I can't do either. Now, if I wanted it bad enough, anything I want bad enough, I can get, but I don't want that bad enough. I just don't want it bad enough. Even the new one, I don't want it bad enough. But the Eternia playset was never on my radar. It was one of the last things that were ever released in the line, and I was already out of He-Man by then as a kid. I'm here to relive my childhood, not buy something for $500 and end up.
Manic Plastic Toy Shop saying he has one coming. Well, congratulations, man. I hope you really enjoy it.
He sure did. And
he must have a lot of room.
Well, he probably does. I mean, it's a toy shop after all. But I'll tell you what he's promised me is that when he gets it, what's going to be 2024 or whenever it gets released. I mean, we've got about 18 months before we'll ever see the first one of those. But anyway, he said that when he gets it, he will put it together, he will play with it, and he will send me photographs of all of this so that I can feature it here on the channel.
Well, that's great. That's great.
And Brick something says he loves him some Modi the Moat Monster. Want to find out who just wants to place that? I'll pay for Modi. Well, I think speculation is that Modi the Moat Monster is going to probably be one of the most sought after and possibly even the most expensive figures in the Origins line. And even over the King Grayskull early bird figure that's going out to those who backed that thing up until just here recently. It finally closed off on that on the 19th.
I don't have any memories of Modi the Moat Monster. Was he prominently featured?
Will, do you know where Modi the Moat Monster comes from and why he is so important to the Eternia playset?
I don't remember him. I mean, I
All
remember
right,
the
here we go. Time
All right.
to learn something. Time for some
Classes
learning.
in session. All right.
Toy adventures.
Everyone bring a chair.
If you have access to an Eternia playset, which most of us do not, but in the front of Central Tower is the lion head, right? And to get from the other side of the moat over to the lion's head doorway, there is an actual drawbridge there. If you lift your drawbridge up and look down in the moat, molded into the plastic of the moat there is Modi the Moat Monster swimming in the moat.
Gotcha. And now they're bringing him to life.
They're bringing him to life as an actual articulated figure in this set. That's where Modi the Moat Monster originally comes from. And I would like to thank Todd over at Hebro. He's got a whole video about that called Why Modi the Moat Monster. Why is this figure in the set? Where he goes into detail about where Modi the Moat Monster is located in the set, in the original vintage set. And let's see what's going on in the chat here. If it wasn't for the payment plan, I wouldn't have been able to back it. That's correct. One of the things that caused a big spike in the backers was when Mattel Creations said, okay, you guys can buy it with PayPal. So when you buy it with PayPal, you got your PayPal options over there where you can buy something and then pay it off in installments later back to PayPal. And that really increased the backers. And it even made me think twice. I almost made a video where it was like a sitcom, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table and I'm going, but look how cute Modi the Moat Monster is. And I look at my wife and she goes, no, you're not buying that damn set.
I'll tell you that payment plan, if they had put that in from the start, it really would have probably
I think it would have reached its
a lot
goal
of
the there might be even more King Grayskulls out there if they had done that.
Mm-hmm. And James saying hi, so I just want to say hi to him. James Salzberg was in the chat.
Oh, hey James, what's going on, Saltberg? I said no. Manic Plastic says Nolan. Yeah, that was the hardest part for everyone was the payment plan, and they should have done that from the beginning. That's correct. And Salzberg says, to quote my favorite Green Lantern Green Arrow issue, Williams, otherwise known as Bills. Just a quick check-in, heading to my dad's to watch the Phillies game. All right, well, have a good one there, Salzberg, and y'all enjoy the game. And Nolan says to Michael there, he says, yeah, that was odd that they waited until the last minute to offer that. I think that it was the fact that they just didn't think about that, and that they may have started watching the gripes that were going on online, and some smart person said, look, these guys have got a point. Let's fix it up where they can buy this thing through PayPal and we might get some more backers.
I think if they did that with all of the big projects, just it's an initial non-refundable deposit to make sure you're serious about it, and then they're going to take until 2024 to make the damn thing anyway. Give you 6 months or something to pay it off, or even longer, or a year or something. I don't know, but I think it would be a lot more people would be willing to join or to fund these things if it was like that.
And Head Wrench Bjorn has just posted in the chat a link over to Hebro's video on Modi the Moat Monster. Thank you for
I
doing
will
that.
check that out so I can become toy educated. Yes.
Yeah, I enjoy watching Todd. Some people find him a little dry, but I don't. I find him just about as entertaining as all get out. And he does all kinds of stuff over there. He does some customizations, and he shows you how to do it. And he does such a better job than I ever would. But anyway,
Yeah, that going back to like the tutorial thing, it's like if you're like really comfortable doing stuff while talking, you know what I mean, like juggling all those responsibilities at the same time, like you might be a great painter or a great, assembler or sculptor, but man, it all changes when you're doing it on camera, and it
everything
all
changes when you get on
changes.
camera, doesn't it, Will?
Yeah, it does, and then it changes even more when you're live. It's
Yeah,
even
and
more.
you're trying to keep up with chat. You're trying to keep up. If you got a guest on the show, you're trying to engage with your guest and keep up with the chat at the same time. So you're moving around, and a lot of times it looks like we're not paying any attention to each other, but we are, or the best we can. Of course, I miss half the chat when I'm actually live. I have to go back and watch the restream, and after it finally finishes processing, so I can see the live chat replay to catch everybody's chat, because there's so much I miss in the chat, because there's a conversation going on over there that a lot of times I'm totally unaware of. And Bjorn just subbed to Hebro. That good for you,
Cool.
man. Hebro needs all the subs he can get too.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
And
I remember that. Yeah.
barely looked at the chat. Luckily, Will was there to help. Well, it also
He was also building a Lego playset. He was doing the Star Wars Lego.
And of course, if any of you guys have watched, what's his name, Salacious Rum, a lot of times on Sunday mornings they'll Salacious Rum will do a live stream with a whole bunch of folks building Legos, and I've watched those before, and of course. Oh, somebody just donated me some money. Salzburg.
I see that.
Look at that. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that.
Wow, Bill. You got a little thing that pops up that's in that's built into StreamYard?
No, it's not.
Okay.
This is like operating a Frankenstein's monster.
Okay.
Well, I've got StreamYard, I've got OBS, and I've got Streamlabs, which is actually does the pop-ups for me, but I have to put them into OBS. So,
okay.
I mean, I've got so much crap going on here that I probably need 2 more monitors to put all this stuff on, because I'm having to switch between so many different applications in order to keep all this wonderful stuff going. I mean, I got Streamlabs is also supplying the chat overlay that you can see on my screen over here, so that those of you who are rewatching can actually watch the chat. Now, I know a lot of you guys are younger, way younger than me and Will are, and you're watching these things on phones. That's fine. But if you're watching it on a phone, you can't see half of what's going on because it's too little. I cast this stuff to a big screen television.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And I can see all that chat over there on that big screen television, and I can read it as it's scrolling up the screen. So that's one of the things.
Yeah. I just pulled you up on my phone. You could see the toy cam really well, though. Chat on screen.
I'm not streaming at full HD, but I am streaming at 720p, which
it's good enough for what we're doing.
But and of course my connection right now is kind of it goes iffy every once in a while. So when that happens,
Mojo Doner said he's watching on a 65-inch TV, but chatting on his phone. Man, that's a scary image.
That's exactly what I do. I cast my phone to the television, so I'm doing the chatting through my phone, but I'm watching the television set for the actual screen.
I feel sorry for anyone seeing my face on 65-inch TV.
And Salzburg says I'm a TV guy too since I'm 50. Yeah, I mean, most of us here are in the 45 to 55 range, according to my analytics.
Yeah.
Most of my
So
viewers are
Jordan's
old.
like 15 or something, right? How old are you, Jordan?
I think Warren's in his 20s,
Oh, okay.
but he's 28. Yeah, he's about the same age as my daughter. So Bjorn's old enough to be my son. So, but yeah, so most of us are older guys. I realize that, but there are some younger viewers, and of course, if you watch my streams, I don't really encourage people under the age of 13 to watch my show because we say wordy dirge every once in a while. And Joneser is a young man. He's a 43-year-old. Everything's plastic is 38, and brick something is 46. Well, we got young men in the prime of their life in here. We've got old geezers like me and Will. So it's just a spectrum of people here. And Salzburg says Jim and I were comparing young buck pics, and we look like we could be brothers. I think I've seen a picture of Grindhead Jim back when he was a Moronine in the service, and he looked pretty sharp back in the day. Have you seen that picture there, Will?
I have not. No, no.
Yeah, he looked pretty sharp back in the day when.
Oh, I'm sure he did. He's a good looking guy there, Jim. Very charismatic.
And Brick something says I'm feeling like an old geezer. Sometimes I feel worse than an old geezer when I get home from work where they don't wore me out completely. Well, let's get on to what we got here on the toy table there, Will. This is my Flash figure right here, and I've got him in a running pose here on a
I
stand.
like that. Where's that stand from?
That is a WWE stand that Mattel put out for the
That's a
WWE.
good tip.
You could buy those in a box, a bunch of stands in the box. I got a ton of those stands around here, but they work great for figures like this. And
So the foot pegs are the same?
Huh?
So the foot pegs are the same as those Superpowers ones?
Yes, yeah. The standard. There's two types of foot pegs. There's small, tiny foot pegs, and then there's these foot pegs. And if anybody has ever bought one of these for a short period of time in the early 2000s, there was a display system called the Ultrarama display, and I'm going to feature that one day here on the channel. But the Ultrarama display came with two sets of foot peg inserts to put in that to hold your figures on, so that you could put Star Wars figures on display, or you could put the larger foot
That's
peg.
interesting. Learning something new again. Always learning something. I'd like to see a video on that.
And Gojitron says I'm hitting 56 in a few months, so I'll need all of you rotten kids to get off my lawn. All right, there, Goji. And Joner says Lyric likes your show. He's only 9, but he's school age, and any school age kid has heard a word or two before. Well,
Yeah,
I try to keep it to a minimum on here. I think I told Jim that I came to the conclusion my grandmother was probably correct when she says when you're using a curse word, it's probably because you have the lack of vocabulary to think of something better to say. And Largo says it's not the years, it's the mileage, and that's absolutely true. You know, there's a young old and there's an old, and you may know what I mean by that. There's some folks that are 65 years old that could run rings around me, if you know what I mean by that. And yeah, Largo, I hear that. Yeah, and Jones are like I do. He works a job that wears the shit out of him. So you know, it's hard for us to make videos. What you got there? You got your phone up?
Salzburg just sent me the picture of Jim and then him when they were younger. And yeah,
let's put it back on the screen so everybody can see.
That was that's James Salzburg, right? And then that's Jim, right? That's Grindhead Jim.
Oh wow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, they
like
put it back up there where we can see it. Sorry about that.
Let me see. Hold on. not the best way to do a thing, but yeah, that's that.
You can see them arms. Look at them arms on him.
Yeah, and then there's Salzburg, and you can tell. I mean, yeah, they look like they
And,
could be brothers, man.
well, all them Marines looked alike back when I was in this. They all had that same square jaw look, jar. You can see a line around their head where you can unscrew the top. See what's the Bjorn say? That's you are a soldier. I was a soldier, sir. I was not a Marine. There is a difference, Will. I don't know if you know that. Soldier is in the army.
No, I didn't know that.
Marine is a Moranine in the Marine Corps. By the way, guys, Marines love to have snacks. So if you know a Marine, send him a box of Crayola crayons. Most of them are partial to the red ones because those taste like cherries. Bjorn says he tries to keep the wordy dirge to a minimum unless it's a rant stream. Yes, when it's a rant stream, I'll let you know that I'm going to say a word or two.
Can I just say? I mean, yeah, of course you tried not to, but did any of us go through life without hearing a dirty word before we were, 15 or anything? I mean, half the movies came out in the 80s
all my best. I learned all my best from my dad and my uncles.
Yeah. So we were all exposed to that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's a time and a place for it.
Of course. But to satisfy Susan Wojcicki and her band of idiots, we don't encourage younger viewers on this show because this is an adult show. There, I said it, Susan, so leave us alone.
So that's a great pose for Flash. If you get
it is, and I decided to put the rest of the figures on display here behind him. We got John Stewart, Green Lantern, back here with his lantern in his hand. We got Hush Batman here. I kind of he's growing more and more on me, and Superman here, and of course we got Darkseid here. Yeah, and this of course is the new 52 Darkseid, and I think I'm going to have to get Cape Master to get me a cape to go on this thing because I think that might make it look a little better to have a cape on him. What do you think, Will?
Well, I think I remember the original. I still have my original Superpowers Darkseid. I mean, my dog chewed his head and shoulder a little bit, but the sculpting on that one was so nice. His skin almost looked like rock in most places. And this one, his legs and abdomen look very smooth. It looks like they did some of that texture on the arms, but I think that would add
texture on the biceps, no texture on the legs or the torso here. There's a little bit of texture up on his forehead where it meets the top of his helmet here or whatever it is. But yeah, and I don't know, his feet kind of look kind of big and cartoony too. I don't know. He hasn't grown on me like let's say Batman.
Well, the thing is, like the smoothness on the legs there looks like that's probably pants. There's also trunks there. They should have painted them or done something because it's the same color. It's just like
they're trying to match the new 52 look from that comic series as well.
Yeah,
and that may be what's going on, and that may be why he's such a dark gray because that gray is a little too dark for my taste.
Yeah, but that's kind of like when you see those pictures of like the people of Walmart or something where there's a woman wearing spandex. It's the same skin tone as like her skin, and it just looks like she's walking around nude or something. And it's not something you want to see.
And a lot of times when it turns around, it's not necessarily a woman in those people of Walmart.
It could be anyone. Yeah.
But yes, I agree. But anyway, I don't know. I just haven't warmed up to maybe if he had an action feature like light up eyes or something like that.
Those light up eyes were pretty dope. I really enjoyed those.
Yeah,
it was like one of my favorite features.
But like I said, I probably wouldn't have this Darkseid figure if it hadn't been for Bjorn Jorgensen, which I appreciate that, Bjorn. Thank you, sir. But anyway, those are my Superpowers figures that I had out. and I'm going to take them off to the side because back here in the back, we're just gonna play with these damn toys. I'm just really loving these resurrection toys that I have back here in the back. It's just an absolute, just a wonder here. We'll start out with the Carnosaur here, which is a dinosaur that has been taken over by the Carnage symbiote. And the color scheme on this is not a color scheme that you can get through Resurrection Toys right now. This is actually hand painted by Rolo himself for me in a color scheme that is not available.
I got my version right there, but yeah, it's not painted that way.
Yeah, this is absolutely
Really nice.
wonderful. And somewhere in here is the thing that turns his little light on, and I think I ended up having to take him apart to get the light on before. Let me see if I can make him the light up.
Can you get a He-Man figure or a Superheroes figure to ride on him?
Let's see if that is possible. Let us see if that is possible.
How about Conan? Can Conan ride the Savage?
There's a Savage He-Man. The problem is he's not balanced well enough to hold the rider. Maybe if I
gotcha.
move his arm around a little bit, maybe I can balance him up on his arm. There we go.
Oh, I worked out a little something of my own here on mine. I'm gonna bring him across. See if you like that.
All right, let's bring. Oh, check it out. There's the Wampa is riding on. Is that Carnosaurus or is that Venomsaurus?
I think this is the Venom. Oh no, this is the Carnage. I'm sorry. This
Carnage. Okay, yeah. There's also a Venom one.
Do you have
the Venom one, Will?
I do. I got both. Let me just see if I can reach back here and grab them.
Show them off. Show them off on the camera for the viewers so they can see both of those.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is Venom, and mine has a different paint job there. I did some twisting of the torso and the head there to get some different poses.
Okay.
But yeah, but these were the ones I bought. These from these were from the Rolo collection before they were available on.
Right. Those are also special and not exactly what you're going to get from the actual Resurrection toy site, but. So you've got prototype figures, and I have a special done by Rolo figure.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't really see how well he was. He looked pretty good on the back there, and he was standing for a second. But I think they said they were going to add it. I thought they said they were re-engineering these and that they would stand better and maybe have a little stiffer in the legs. But yeah, he looks pretty good. Not too bad.
What I had to do right here, I had to kind of position his hand here in the front to kind of support his upper torso.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of allowed He-Man to ride there on his back. One of the things you have to be very aware of is the way these things are made. It's made out of this really flexible resin. Okay. So
they're super durable. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to break this. You're not going to make this come off, or fall apart or anything, but it's real flexible and you can kind of train these things to stand in certain ways, but you may have to use a little bit of hot water to kind of reposition this stuff. But the little arms here are really flexible. And that's kind of the, to me, one of the downfalls of this.
I think they look great though, and I think they work with so many different. You could use them.
What's really cool is any number of action figures can work with this line if you want.
Yeah, even if not necessarily riding them, but fighting them for sure.
Yeah, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, 3 3/4 inch figures would work great with these, all the way up to 7-inch figures, I would think.
Absolutely, and they'd fit right in.
Anyway, I've got the little light on, and I'm gonna cut my little
They
light
love
off.
those lights. They really
Big
do.
light off here and see if you can see. Can you see that light going on in there?
Yeah.
Let me embiggen myself so everybody can see that. Here we go. There we go, folks. You can see the little LED light going on there inside the Carnosaur there.
It's a party in his stomach. Get in there.
Yeah, exactly. And to me right now, it looks even better on the camera than it does in person here. So that's quite interesting there.
Yeah, Bill,
So
you can also cycle through those, like by hitting the button several times, it cycles through different modes.
yeah,
So there's like a strobe, and then there's like one where it just cycles through all the colors. Then you can find your favorite.
there we go. That's
Yeah, but kids love it. I'm telling you, they really do. They used to have these like wacky, just kind of you push a button and it spins around and lights up toys that we used to have on the counter over at KB Toys, and we'd sell out every time we got them. Kids just love crap that lights up. I don't
I
know why,
know,
but
and this is from what I understand, these light up features are pretty much a standard in Mexican bootleg toys these days. So, uh, and that's the thing. Resurrection toys are actual Mexican bootleg toys that are available to us here in the United States through Resurrection Toys. And so they feature the same features that the actual bootlegs down there in Mexico do. Now here we have Predacon. He is a King Kong predator. So and now this paint job here on my figure is a little different from the paint job that you're going to see on the actual figures on Resurrection Toys, but not by too much. All of these toys are special toys that were sent to me by Rolo himself. So they all feature features that he wanted me to have special toys just for me. But
kind of
he's
looked
got
like he was assaulting Castle Grayskull there for a second.
yeah, he's got his bone axe there in his hand, and he's got this bone armor on him that's kind of strapped on with these little green straps. And he's got these little deals, spikies going on here on his wrist, and right back here on his back is an alien head, like he's killed him an alien, and he's got it fixed up into a strap there to hold his little bones here in the front, kind of a trophy that he's collected here. And he's got this the light up feature is in his head. If I can find the button here in his forehead, there it goes, to get him to turn on. So there, let's turn the light off here so you can see the light up feature there in his head. What do you think about that, kids?
It's a party.
It is, and just strobing away there in his cranium, and like you said, you can hit that button again, and it'll just go through different cycles with the colors there. And if you ever need to change out the battery, you just pop his head off, and the little thing is right there where you can get to it. So I'm not going to do that today, but I just thought
Yeah,
people might.
James is saying he ordered one for his grandson for Christmas. I hope he really enjoys that. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, they're I think they're reasonable prices for what you're getting, and the only problem is going to be shipping. And we're working really hard with our shipping partner, but shipping between Mexico, the United States, and Canada is ridiculous right now. And there's just not anything that we can do to make that any better at this time. But as time goes on, something better may work out in the future. We hope.
Yeah, because of the shipping, I'm trying to collect enough to just do one big order. Just pay the shipping one
And that's
time.
probably better. And of course, you can buy these figures individually, but if you go onto the resurrectiontoys.com/shop, you'll see that there's army builder options where you can get more than one figure in a pack. There's double pack figures where you can get like Predacon and Xenozilla here, which I'm fixing to feature in one pack so that they can be fighting one another. But here we have Xenozilla, which is a alien Godzilla. If an alien symbiote had gotten a hold of Godzilla, what would it have created? And that is it right there. So the xenomorph has gotten a hold of Godzilla with his face hugger, and the creature that resulted was this, a xenomorph Godzilla. And he has an articulated jaw, so you can open and close his mouth. Inside of his mouth is his little mouth. So you know how that goes, I'm gonna eat you. Little mouth.
What's the voice? Bill, what's the voice you did on your live stream for the alien? I was cracking up when you did that. You were like, "Hi, I'm a Xeno. I'm a Xeno.
I'm gonna eat you my little mouth too." Now you just hold on there, little mouth. We'll get you here in a minute. Yeah, that's actually from Family Guy. I don't know if you've ever seen that or not, but that was actually from Family Guy.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't, but yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. So there's old Xenozilla, and of course, from what I understand, the paint job on mine is slightly different from the paint job that you're going to get on the production model, but it's the same sculpt and everything. And what's really interesting about these guys are that the legs and everything just snap right off like that right there, and that's by design, and it's okay because they go right back on, and just it's a flexible resin. I've never seen a resin exactly like this, and this is Rollo's secret resin recipe here that he has guarded with his life for years and years and years. And it is now being used to actually produce toys that are commercially available. What do you think about
was that crossover ever in any media or anywhere? Or is this a completely original idea? The Xenozilla or
the idea of crossing over Godzilla and King Kong with the Predators and the alien is something completely Mexican. I mean, it's just a Mexican thing. It's the way they think down there when they're making their bootlegs. They'll take two almost completely incompatible things and mash them together into something wonderful. One of the things that I've seen done down there that if I thought about it, I would think this cannot work. But then when you actually see the toys, you're like, that is so cool. And that is taking the Simpsons characters, such as Homer Simpson, and mashing him up with, say, a Marvel character like Spider-Man.
I saw those. Yes, he's got a lot of them.
And that's just it's the way the bootleg market down there thinks. It's not something that we would think of, but that's the way they think, and it's just a wonderful thing. And yes, you're not going to see this figure in any store anywhere in the world, but you're going to get it from Resurrection Toys. And this figure can be a menacing monster for any number of action figure lines of toys, from very, very, very small all the way up until 7-inch figures. I mean, it would work. And the last thing I want to show off, and I'm mixed about this because this has been promised to my daughter a long time ago by Rollo, and I don't want to give it up. I want to keep it for myself, and that's kind of selfish of me. So I'm probably going to have to wind up doing what's supposed to be done and giving it to my daughter. But
there was a toy line in the early 2000s that came in like eggs like that, and I used to get it for my kids. Was it Mega Bloks? The dragons did that? Maybe I don't know.
Maybe I couldn't tell you because I don't know. But this is the xenomorph egg that was featured in the Alien movies. And it has a light up feature in it as well, as you can see in the base. And when you put the egg back together again, of course, it makes it look even better. So let's turn the light off there and look at that. And you can see the way that lights up down there and then the base. But this egg is removable from the base, so you can display the egg by itself, or you can. It's a peg down here in the bottom of the base, and there's a hole in the egg so that it kind of fits together there, and it can be displayed, separately or on its base. I like the base. The base kind of holds it, makes it look kind of cool. And when you first get this and you open it up, inside you're going to find all the pieces of this Build-A-Figure here, which I've actually built on camera on the live stream in which I unboxed this. So what we have here is we have a Predator, a little Predator guy here, and he's riding on a dino alien dinosaur, and his mouth actually articulates as well. So he's got Predator features, alien features, and dinosaur features all built into one kind of interesting little creature here. And we have a little Predator man here.
It's absolutely insane, but it works.
It does. It's amazing, and it also comes with an alien egg with a face hugger on it, and it has a hole in the bottom. And I asked Rollo if this fit on the creature anywhere. He goes, no, it's just a separate piece. So it's just a separate piece. But all these pieces, and once you build it, it won't fit inside the egg. But you can take all this stuff apart, and I'm going to do it right here on the camera and show you how it all comes apart. So I'm going to take his head off, and I'm going to take his little arms off in the front. And when you take his little arms off, these little deals here come loose. But I'll have to take his back.
Yeah, and it seems like when you put the part, usually things that are easily assembled or disassembled, sometimes the assembled version
they never come back apart again. Well, with Resurrection Toys, that's not the case. And of course, everything fits very neatly inside the little egg here.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of fill it up with all this cool stuff. And let's put this last piece in there along with the egg, and we can put it all back together again. There we go. So there he is with the Build-A-Figure inside of him now. So that's our main feature today was these toys. I want everybody to run over there to resurrectiontoys.com/shop if you want your own figures of these. And this is not all that's available. There's even more. And excuse me, if you want to get in on something really, really special, where Resurrection Toys is going to be releasing the Kraken. Yes, the Kraken, based upon not the actual, but based upon the Kraken that you saw in the original Clash of the Titans movie. Now, this figure has not been produced yet, but if you want to get in on an early bird special on that, you can pledge your money now, and that creature will come out sometime at the end of this year, maybe next year. We're not supposed to talk about that kind of stuff anymore because Jim kind of got a little ahead of himself on that one, and it kind of affected the company just slightly when it comes to releasing and stuff like that. But yeah, and let's catch up on the chat here. Bjorn Jorgensen is giving us all kinds of links to go to and check out. Nolan, great impression, spot on. Thank you, sir. And Motu Joneser said, yeah, just as funny the second time. Thank you there, Joneser. Appreciate that. And Bjorn says, can they be swapped between figures? I haven't tried, but possibly. Gojitron says the number of Homer Simpson mashups that they've done in Mexico is mind-boggling. It is. It absolutely is. And we actually saw a few of those in the auction that we did for Rolo. There was quite a few of them in that auction. And Salzburg says it's a cool idea. Bjorn Jorgen says Mega Bloks had a line like that back in the day. I have one of their sets. And he also says he jumped the Xeno Shark on that one, talking about our Kraken. Yes. There are so many different ideas that we have, and we can speculate on what can and can't be done, but we can't promise anything. And
Well,
that's
I think going from concept to produced product in 2 or 3 months is,
well,
uh,
it's unheard of. It's unheard
yeah.
of. Will in the toy industry, do you know how many years it takes from concept to actually producing a toy? Do you know how many years it actually takes, Will?
No, 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 I don't know. But I
Three
would
to
say two.
5 years.
Yeah,
Three to
two,
5 years from the time that some ingenuitive person comes up with the idea, all the way through to the time this figure or line of toys is released. It can take up to 5 years. So what you're seeing on shelves now are ideas that they had up to 3 to 5 years ago. So we have to understand that, and I think that at Revelation Toys, they're starting to understand that as well. Things happen for a reason. Yes, we can do things a little faster at Revelation Toys because of the interesting relationships that we have with our manufacturers, our partners. They're working with us, but still, it takes time to get these things from one stage to another, and then to work out the logistics of being able to get those to you, and at a price that not only is reasonable to you, but also allows enough profit so that those who are working with the company can make a living. Because we're not operating a Chinese sweatshop. We want our employees to be happy and as well. So that we have all that going on. And Bjorn says you got an idea of focus group, R&D, revisement, and more focus group. That's great. There's a lot of steps that need to be done. And one of the major steps that Resurrection Toys needs to do is find out how shipping costs are going to affect the company and the end user, so that a reasonable amount of shipping can be done, so that shipping doesn't cause us to lose money. Yeah, pretty much that's what it is. Still got 10 folks on. We're coming up to about an hour and a half in. Is there anything more that either of you guys want to talk about while we got things going on here?
No, no, no. I'm pretty good. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, shipping internationally. That's why it really hasn't been done before. There's
Yeah,
always
and
internationally. Once you're crossing borders, things get a lot more complicated, and that's where Resurrection Toys came in with trying to figure out a way to, affordably do that, was to get these products
yeah,
to the
well,
U.S.
and that's what happened at the very beginning. And Jim has been very transparent about this. If you go over to the YouTube channel for Resurrection Toys, you can see that there are a couple of videos up about this. So I'm not saying anything that's
Yeah. No,
out of
no,
the
no.
ordinary here, but the cost of shipping were miscalculated from the get go,
Hmm.
because the very idea of how much it was going to cost to get this stuff from Mexico to the United States was not something that we were aware of or even thought about. And so all of this, all of the monies were lowballed, badly lowballed, to the point to where the initial release, we had to eat a lot of costs on that affected the bottom line greatly. which is why we've had to kind of slow down. Wait a minute. We need to slow down and think these things out a little bit further before we start, jumping the gun. And Bjorn's giving us some. White Shadow just subscribed. Wherever you are and whoever you are, White Shadow, thank you very much for subscribing here to Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. And we got Michael Purvis says, actually, do you think that now that we have an Eternia playset coming that we can possibly get a Fright Zone playset and maybe future playsets too? Well, we're going to get Snake Mountain, Michael. So somewhere between now and the time that Eternia releases, and I'm thinking that's why they went ahead and released the Snake Mountain preview when they did, so that to whet those appetites. There's so much that can happen between now and the time that the Eternia playset's released.
I'm kind of surprised that they went with Eternia and
Not
didn't
frozen.
kind of
Okay, I'm back.
didn't put those smaller playsets out first. I just think that would have made more sense to build up to.
Snake Mountain's a given, and if they hadn't gone first with that, it probably would have hurt them, in my opinion. Okay, I know a lot of people want that Fright Zone really, really bad, but let me see if I can turn off a few things here, and maybe I can. There we go. Snake Mountain had to come out because I think by the time the Eternia playset's actually there, they want you to be able to make your massive playset with Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. So between now and the time that the Eternia playset, which is fully funded and also on the second tier, we were wondering whether Keklar the Elder tier is going to make it. I don't think it's going to make it to Keklar the Elder. Will I really don't? That's 10,000. And they made 8,000, but if you look at the graph, the line has just flattened. So and now if it follows trend towards the very, very end, you're going to see a steep rise in the number of backers. So we'll see what happens towards the end of the month. Because I think
we're talking about if they get the 10,000, that's like what, 5 million or something like that. What are they making on that? That's a lot. 8,000 would be 4.4 million. So if they get to the 10,000, that's a $5 million.
Gojatron says box art has been a good indicator of what they're working on, and Point Dread has been in the art. It has. So is the Fright Zone. Fright Zone and Point Dread have been on that box art, and that box art not necessarily an indicator of what's coming, but it's a good indicator. I mean, we've seen some things we know it's not going to be released on those box arts, but we also have seen some things that are going to be released on that box art that I wouldn't have thought, such as the Frogmonger. And are you aware of Frogmonger there, Will?
No, who's Frogmonger? He sounds like a
frog. This is an absolute deep cut that even I had never thought about. But in original Castle Grayskull, not the new one, but in the original Castle Grayskull dungeon sticker that's right underneath the trap door, you can see several different little creatures down there, in that grate. And one of them you can see on the side is a frog-like face with a frog-like hand coming out of that grate. Well, that's the Frogmonger. And Axel actually featured the Frogmonger on some box art for one of these boxes, either Castle Grayskull or one of the vehicles. I can't remember exactly which, but anyway, the Frogmonger was there, and nobody knew who he was. I mean, I can remember. I think it might have been Adam over there at Radical Toys is going, who is this frog guy here on the side, folks? If you know, tell me in the comments below, because I don't know who he is. And be honest with you, I'm like, I don't know who he is either. I just think Axel just drew a figure
Yeah.
there. But it was Frogmonger. And now they have told us that that's going to be one of the next Mattel Creations exclusive figures that will sell out in 3 minutes. Will be the Frogmonger. We don't know exactly when he's going to be released, but they have told us that that's going to happen. So that's interesting, very interesting. All these things are starting to come out now. If you believe certain self-proclaimed gurus in the industry who have YouTube channels that are kind of spectral and creative, won't name any names here. They say that Universal is going to get complete rights to the Masters of the Universe line in the year 2023 and 2024. So Mattel, maybe if he's got a kernel of truth in what he's telling us, Mattel may be going all out, balls to the walls to release all they can between now and then in the hopes of continuing to keep the toy line when they lose the license to it and it reverts back to Universal. Are you aware of that?
I wasn't aware of that. I'm just wondering what that would mean. That means that they can't produce toys, or that they have to pay a licensing fee to Universal.
Well, they're already paying. According to what I've heard, and I don't know how much of that's true or how many kernels of truth are in that or what's being omitted, if you know what I mean by all of that. They're already paying a license fee to the owner of the property, which is Universal. Okay.
Okay.
They have an exclusive right of first refusal up until a certain date, either next year or year after. I don't know. Somebody just sent me a picture. They said, "Okay, I'll go look in just a second. Let me finish my thought here, man." But anyway, what we've got is we've got an owner of the brand, because
Okay.
Mattel sold it to one company, and that company was absorbed by another company, which was sold to a different company, which ended up being owned by Universal. Now, that's totally different from the film rights, which I think are still owned by a totally different company, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
So Universal ends up with the ownership of the brand Masters of the Universe. Now, Mattel has first right of refusal up until a certain date so that they can produce all they want up until that particular date. And then things may be business as usual, or the owner could say, okay, we're going to open this up to bids and everybody will come in, show us what you got, and we'll pick who we want. And then Mattel could win it that way back, or it could revert to someone else, or they could split it up and say, okay, you guys have got the rights to do 3 3/4 inch figures. You guys have got the rights to do 7-inch figures. You guys have got the right to do this. You know, it could go in all different directions if what's been told to me is to be believed. And I don't know that
Yeah, I've never heard, or I hadn't heard of that. You know, the only thing I had ever heard of was, like certain characters being renamed because they didn't up the trademark, or
well,
slight
that's
variations
what
and
happened
things
to
like
the
that.
Road Ripper. We know the Ground Ripper is the Road Ripper, but somebody else has got the trademark on the word Road Ripper. Probably
Yeah, but you're saying this affects the entire
line.
Like, this is the entire
Right now,
line.
like I said,
Yeah.
this Spectre over there, the self-proclaimed guru, says all of this, but he also shills for the toy industry, and some of what he has to say.
Yeah. It's
Is
interesting, but it seems to be right now that Masters of the Universe is one of the most popular and well done
well,
of the redone IPs. I would say,
now
G.I. Joe,
see
Transformers.
there you go again. See, it's popular, we know it's popular because we're buying it. We're making YouTube channels about it. We're making videos about it. You go in the store, it's all over the shelves. It more and more is being released. It's got to be popular, right? Well, this same self-proclaimed guru about 6 months ago said the line was dying because it was on the clearance shelf. You see
Yeah,
why I find him to be kind of questionable in the things that he's saying.
I like Gojatron's comment there.
Taking Motu away from Mattel would be the height of corporate stupidity. So I fully expect it to happen. Absolutely, Gojatron. It's already happened, my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
They sold the right. They sold the rights to Masters of the Universe to I forget what company actually got it. It ended up with a company called Entertainment Rights, and then it reverted over to DreamWorks, who bought them out. I think Hallmark Media owned it at one point, and then that company was bought by Universal and folded into Universal, and that's how Universal ended up with it. So it's been around the block because at one time the line was completely dead, and then it was revived with the 2000X line, and the toy line failed very badly at the stores. And Mattel was like, okay, this we're not making money on this, and you know how uh, corporations corporations don't think about money to be made in the future; they think about money to be made now, always. Which
Yeah.
is why poor decisions get made because let's make as much money as we can make today and not worry about money to be made tomorrow because that's a nebulous thing to a corporation. So that's why the brand was sold. It was sold at a time when it wasn't making Mattel any money, and they wanted to make as much money as they could possibly make that day. And Bjorn says, I remember watching the 2000X cartoon, but I don't really remember the toys. Nobody remembers the toys because it failed so badly. And of course, the Four Horsemen were the ones that sculpted those toys, and there's nothing wrong with the sculpts on those toys. However, the articulation on them were pretty bad from what I can remember. They were more statue-like than they were toy-like. And that's also where we ended up getting all these repaints like Disco Skeletor and all that. And Nolan says it could be a ploy to cause fear to get fans to panic and buy.
Hey, that's a real good point. It could be.
It is. It is. He's absolutely right. It very well could be. I mean, we really don't know. We don't know, and we're being told all these different things that we
Yeah, I'm
really
just curious, after all of that, though, like, what does it mean to, like, them losing the license? Like, does that mean it just goes away and some other company starts making it? Does it
well,
mean that
no,
prices go up?
they've
Does it
already
mean,
sold that. Will, that's the thing.
yeah,
If what we're being told is it's already been sold, they just have an agreement that we can produce what we want to produce, and we have first right of refusal for everything with it up until this date. Well, that date is rapidly approaching now.
yeah,
With all of the things that they produced so far, you would think that Universal, if they're the ones that own this right, would say, okay, you guys have all this stuff out there, you're making all this money. We're just going to let things ride just the way it is, and nothing is going to change. And that may be what Mattel's ploy is. That may be what the thinking is. If we get all this stuff out there, we show we're making money on this, and that we've got all this out there, they're just going to let it continue to be what it is instead of opening it up for bids. Who knows what's going to happen?
yeah.
I don't think we're going to see any damn difference at all next year after. It's just going to continue the way it is. And the Origins line has got a long way to go before everything that was ever produced is produced again in this line. So, and I think we're going to see a lot more between now and the release of Eternia playset. And I'm hoping that Fright Zone and Point Dread are some of the things that we may
Yeah,
see.
even the fact that they're making the attorney a place that kind of just destroys that whole speculation because That thing's not planning to come out until 2024. If they were going to
That's
lose flights,
correct. If the
you know
first
what I mean?
first
I'm just
quarter
saying.
first quarter 2024 is when it's
Yeah,
supposed to, and it may
that's
be released sooner than that. We don't know. Anyone remember the DC versus Motu line, Aquaman versus Merman? Yes, I do remember that. And that's also the set that I think we ended up getting Molar, the dentist, who was taking Skeletor's tooth out
is that
from
right? I
Robot
did not
Chicken.
know
Yeah,
that.
that actually got released as a toy. It sounds familiar. Yeah, it did.
What
And
year was that from?
it was back when the classics were coming out, because the self-proclaimed guru that I've been talking about was the brand manager of the DC Universe line there at Mattel, and he was also doing the Masters of the Universe classics at the same time. And so that's where the idea of mashing the two together came from. So that's how that came about.
Man,
All right, so that's you ended up with it was a classics figure and a DC Universe figure put in a twin pack and with slight repaints on both. So I remember those when they came out, and they go for quite a bit of money over there on the Evil auction site. World Made of Cardboard just returned for a little bit, but I can honestly say that in any company, 99% of the time, those that run the company have absolutely no idea of what the company really does or how to run it. Absolutely. And one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing. And in the case of Mattel and Hasbro, I know for a fact that very few of the people who are in upper level management are fans of toys, play with toys, collect toys, or even understand the idea that adults collect toys. That's true. You would think that anybody who works for a toy company is a Santa Claus like creature who loves toys, loves children.
not like
Uh,
the CEO from Big. The
no,
guy.
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
yeah, not like
These
that
these
guy.
are these are these are some of the most pointy haired boss type people that you'll ever meet in your life. They have no idea what the property even is that they're making the toys of. They've never watched the movies or the cartoons that they're based upon, or read the comic books or
I don't
anything.
get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jordan said it. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a building that becomes a robot. I don't get it.
right, right. It's exactly
What
right. I mean,
what's
they
fun
don't.
about that?
Uh,
Yeah.
these are the same people who called the sail barge that was created. I think it was Hasbro Pulse or whatever it is. Did that big huge sail barge for the Black Series.
Yeah.
These are the same people who call that a dollhouse. Oh, you're just making a dollhouse.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, uh, yeah. I don't know.
What do
I
you guys
think.
think of Mondo Battle? The Mondo Battle Cat. The Mondo figures are what, the 12-inch figures of He-Man, and
Oh, I
they've
didn't
come
even
out
know
with
they
a
made
Battle
that. How
Cat
many
now that
lines?
the Mondo He-Man can ride. Uh, if you collect that kind of stuff, more power to you. When you start getting up into something that big, it becomes unmanageable to me. Uh, I want to continue with my origins because it's just a perfect little line. But there's nothing wrong with those who want to collect something that big, but that's a huge thing. And
Are those
that
currently available?
Mondo Battle Cat just got announced not too long
Oh,
ago,
okay.
and then I
And
think
what are those? Those are
Mondo
12 inch.
Skeletor and Mondo He-Man are already out, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
This reminded me of
Wow.
that one scene in Big where Tom, yeah, you don't get it. Yeah, they don't get it. And Nolan's like, they wouldn't get in those positions if they were. Well, look, these people are the MBAs of this world. You know, they've gone and got a master's degree in business, and now they are in a company, and they have, you know, their life is all wrapped up into how much money that they can make, not
I
in
don't think the Masters line is going anywhere. I think
No.
it's here for to stay. I think that speculation is probably
Yeah,
just
those Mondo figures are very pricey for what they are. I mean, they're actual articulated 12-inch figures. I mean, big.
yeah.
And
Hey,
World
for
Made
some people that's
Cardboard.
their jam. They like those 12-inch. So that's
World Made Cardboard thinks, I'll just stick with my cardboard.
you know what? And he's proved that you can have a lot of fun with
You
just
absolutely.
cardboard.
Hey, I've got tons of cardboard sets that I've made with plans that I found on the internet
Yeah.
from places like Phil over there at Action Figure Theater
hmm
downloads, and it's pretty much the same thing as World Made of Cardboard's doing over there. So you download the plans, you print them out on your printer on cardstock paper, you cut this stuff out, you put it together, and you got a play set. And how much did it cost you? Very little. The amount of ink and paper that it costed.
And it's even cooler because you have the pride of knowing you made it yourself. So that's even better.
Yeah, Mondo
Hey,
Battle Cat is $499, but free shipping.
free
So
shipping.
yeah,
Hey,
free shipping. So for $100 less than the price of an Eternia playset, you can get a Battle Cat for your Mondo He-Man to ride. I don't know, that sounds unappealing to me as far as money wise goes. What do you think there, Will?
if it's whatever floats your boat, because I think Jim,
Yeah, your
you
mileage
know,
may vary.
he
I'm
put
just
on stream a couple weeks ago a bunch of these like Godzilla statues that are like thousands of dollars, and
yeah.
there's
Good
those other ones.
Lord, what are you
Someone
gonna do?
buys them.
Of
Someone
course
buys
they buy
them.
that.
So someone
They're
has an
they're
entire room
decorating their
full of
house
those
with that stuff.
statues, and it
I,
makes them
I
happy. You know.
yeah, I don't know.
So what
I
can you do, man? I
no,
don't
no.
get it.
I was a double major in college, mathematics and industrial. Okay. And Nolan says cardboard makes photography that much better. It absolutely does, because a cardboard playset makes for wonderful action figure photography, and nobody can tell whether it's cardboard or not in the picture. The picture looks great. And Jordan Jorgensen says, plus, if the cardboard paper gets damaged, you just print another one. That's absolutely correct.
Little tape,
Absolutely
little
correct.
glue, some markers.
Yeah,
Never know the
I mean,
difference.
really. Oh, I've got all kinds of stuff back here that's just made of cardboard. It's all back here
Yeah.
behind me. And
Oh,
and
they're
and
beautiful. I love those.
yeah. Hang on just a second. I'll show you guys one little something, because I had to take a lot of stuff down in here. Here we go. This is the kind of stuff we're talking about making right here. This is the control room from a Doctor Who television show that was from I think it was the Wheel in Space or something like that, and it's just cardstock that's
It's
been
got
folded and glued together.
perfect, perfect. It's got everything you need. And like I said, most even plastic play sets are just a molded piece of plastic with some stickers on it or something, So
Exactly.
it doesn't have to be functional parts. And when I was a kid, what's the one Motu play set? Oh my god, the one with the hand puppet. What was that one? The Fright
Oh,
Zone, right?
that'd be the Fright Zone. The Fright Zone that had the
Yeah.
little creature that come out
Oh
of the
my
hole.
god, I wanted that for Christmas so bad. I didn't get it, but you know what I did? I just got a box, cut a hole in it, approximated what I saw in the commercial,
Well,
got a sock, painted
yeah.
the sock, and made my own puppet, and I had just as much
Now,
fun with it.
here's the thought now.
Yeah.
Now, those of you who own the Fright Zone playset know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't own one, but I never had one. But the little puppet that came out of the hole, that thing was made out of a rubber that deteriorated so quickly that most of the existing ones today are in awful shape, if not non-existent.
What I'm
But
saying is, yeah, it probably didn't look great, but it was fun, and for me, it was probably just as much
here's
fun
what
as
I'm getting
the
to
original.
there, Will. Go to Walmart. Go over there where the cheap toys are, where the jacks, where
hmm
you play jacks with the ball and the little cap pistols, and where those cheap toys are. There's a bin down there at the bottom with all kinds of dinosaurs in it, and there's little dinosaur hand puppets down there that make perfect replacements for your Fright Zone puppet.
That's hilarious. That's great. Yeah, you could get an excellent puppet for next to nothing. And like I said, to a kid, it's just as much fun.
Yes, Nolan, I did make the Trouble Alert computer for Jim. But I'll tell y'all what, if you want one for yourself, you can make it for yourself if you go over to my blog, Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures, over on blogspot.com. Find my blog over there. I'm sure that one of these bots in the chat's been telling y'all how to get to it the whole time we've been talking. Go over there and search for superpowers. I released the plans for that in a PDF file that you can throw
Yeah,
into your computer.
there's
Print
other
out,
ones too.
cut
Look at
out.
I printed up the giant penny for the Batcave,
Yeah,
the giant Joker card. Those are
all
really
that stuff.
great accessories I got from Bill's set. They're awesome. I think there was also some like newspaper boxes and things like that, like small accessories.
Yeah,
You get a
all
ton of
kinds of
stuff over
little
there. Such a
diorama
great,
fodder that you can fill out your
yeah,
diorama with. I've
some
got
really cool stuff.
tons of that stuff over there that was released years ago. It's still sitting over there, waiting for the right enterprising person to just download it and print it out. So if you wanted your own Trouble Alert for your superpowers figures to have in their Hall of Justice, go over there and print that thing out and cut it out and make it yourself. I've been meaning to make a video about putting it together because I know there's no instructions on it, but that's part of paper crafting. I don't know if you knew that or not, Will, but paper crafts don't come with instructions. That's part of the fun is
Yeah,
figuring out
yeah,
how to make
figuring
it
it
go
out.
together.
I will tell you whose does come with instructions is a World Made of Cardboard's new uh, play set that he just released, the command center. I printed it all out, and yeah, it comes with instructions, everything you need to get started. And the World Made of Cardboard does such a great job at engineering them. You don't need tape or glue to make them; they're all just tabs and slots. So if you haven't checked that out, go check out his video if you're up for a challenge, or probably not a challenge. It's not like difficult to
Well,
do, but if you're
everything we do
a
in
nice
life is a
project,
challenge. Some things are more challenging than others, Will, but
sure.
and
But he made
sometimes,
his set modular, so you could
yeah,
customize it and make it how you like, to fit your space and your
you
scenario.
need an alien landscape for your action figures to play in. He's got one.
Yep, super well done,
And that
beautiful.
that is also modular. Make
Hmm.
as much or as little as you need and put it together however you want it. Bjorn, cardboard boxes are the best play sets because they could be anything. Absolutely. 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 So, we're coming up on almost 2 hours here. Time just flies by when we're having fun, doesn't it, Will?
Absolutely.
Is there anything special that maybe you guys would like to see in my collections that I got my hands available to? Just let me know. Any questions that you have for me or Will, just let us know there in the chat. And please, folks, go down in the comment section after this is over with and leave me a few comments. Tell me some things. Tell me if you like the show. Give me some ideas on future shows. But just start filling out my comment section. Let's feed the algorithm and make those useful idiots over at YouTube start feeding my channel out to other people. Gojitron, you had the Amsco Marvel playset. That thing was awesome and right now very expensive on the secondary market. Yeah, it was made out of cardboard. Absolutely. It's what he was talking about there. That was a wonderful little playset. The Amigo had some good ones, but I think they put the plastic coating on them. That's correct, Nolan. Like the Batcave playset, which I have one in the other room, and I think that Figures Toy Company came out with a reproduction of that using the same molds and stuff. And they also made another Batcave that was more accurate to the television show, in that very same style. And I've got one of those too. There's so much crap here, Will. I need to bring it out. And
Yeah.
one of the days we're going to start going through some of these boxes in here one by one with you on the show with me. And we're going to start going through a box at a time and seeing what's in the box and putting it into a nice plastic bin and eliminating cardboard.
Oh, that's good.
Or repurposing cardboard. Let's put it that way. Largo says, thanks, everyone. Great stream. It sounded
Thanks,
like
Jim.
getting about tired here. That was a fantastic stream. Cardboard said, thanks for the kind words. I'll be adding place at time.
I can't wait. I love everything that he comes up with.
If you do vehicles, I would be very much appreciative because there's all kinds of different little ideas in my head about vehicles.
And that makes me so happy to hear that Gojatron's planning on building one as well. So I'd love to see how his comes out.
Am I getting the anniversary Mego and DC figures in the boxes? No, I am not Gojatron. I have to limit my budget money. And my money right now is budgeted towards getting Motu Origins. And not necessarily everything Motu Origins. And now it has been supplemented with getting the new Mcfarlane Superpower stuff. And I limit myself with what I'm doing. I don't have the budget to be able to collect everything that there is coming out there. So as much as I would like to be able to do that, I'm just not in a financial position to do that. So I have to be very careful with where I'm spending my money. And right now, Motu Origins is getting the majority of that. And Ticket tells me, thanks for the good show, Bill. Thank you, Ticket. And once again, folks, this guy, the Red Velvet Rope Band featuring the Ticket has some wonderful music. And if you want to hear that music, go to Ancient Order of Men on Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on Saturday nights. And the Ancient Order of Men live stream does feature the Red Velvet Rope Band featuring the Ticket on his lineup over there, and you'll be able to hear some wonderful music there as well. And so I want to bid you adieu there, Will. I thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It was great to hang out with you and see your customs and hang out with the chat here. So thank you so much, man.
Yeah, no problem. And if you would, you can stick around a minute and we'll chat afterwards.
Sure.
But I just want to tell everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in my chat over here. Thank you for leaving your comments. Thank you for all the likes I get. Thank you for all the tips and everything that have rolled in over the time. Thank you to my Patreons. If you want to be a Patreon, head over to Patreon and patronize me. I would appreciate that. And just I'm just happy to be here. I just love the show, and I want to tell everyone to remember, together we shall triumph.
Special thanks to these supporters on Patreon. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like and subscribe and share the video.